if you can't do it for 24 hours, there's no way you can do it for 15, 25 years, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and they call that rehabilitation, but it's insanity, man, because I don't think anybody can get rehabilitated. That's just, I think, a cliche, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it changes you, because I just was explaining to people, like, the reason why I do my show was I feel like I did a bid in my mind. Because, you know, a lot of times you don't have to be in jail physically, but mentally you can be in a cell, you can be in a prison just with the thoughts and the trauma that you exhibited. Because I lost my brother, you know what I'm saying? My pops, and I don't got no more grandparents, cousins, my aunts and uncle. Man, I was going through it, bro. And I just was trying to tell people about just, you don't realize what you have until it's gone.
Until it's gone, yep.
Because I just be having memories, and those memories is like, because we take a lot for granted and shit. A lot of times, I always feel like as just people and human in general, like, and I miss having a brother because I don't have a brother no more. It's just us. I have a sister. It's all right, but I miss having a brother.
A brother, yeah, y'all could do the same things, and you know. But yeah, so that leads me to my thing for my young generation: think before you do. You know, think about people who love you. Think about your future. Think about the positions you could put yourself in, and just think. As you get older, you realize, you know, that was stupid. At something I did 10 years ago. I mean, don't get me wrong. We look back as kids, we're like, man, we did some stupid shit back then. How did we survive that? But back then, we didn't have social media. Back then, we didn't have a cell phone.
Right.
You know, we had Nintendo, or we had things like that, or you know, we had each other as kids growing up. You know, hide and go seek, you know, run around the neighborhood, running our bikes, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that our influences growing up were different from how they are now. So.
Yeah, and we wasn't incriminating ourselves like that either.
No, we were definitely not, because there was no phones to do that, you know.
Exactly.
We used to, I mean, I remember, you know, playing near the highway or by the train tracks, you know, and back then, you know, we could have severely hurt ourselves back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look back at it now, and you know, our kids are like, well, what'd you do when you were young? I'm like, don't worry about what I did when I was young.
Right, don't worry about that.
It sounds crazy, but it's not. But hey, Irene, good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So how about you go to the beginning? Like,
all right, so the beginning, I was... So in the beginning, I had my mom who had me, she was really young.
Yeah.
She was my biological mom. She had me, I believe she was like 14, 15.
Oh, damn. So y'all look pretty much like brother and sister.
Just about. I get that. I look like my mom a lot.
Yeah.
And then my dad at the time, I believe he was maybe 17, 18. So I was really young when I had them. I'm sorry, when they had me.
Yeah.
And what happened was I think they were too young. They couldn't take care of me. So then my mom's parents adopted me and took me in from there. So the people who I call my sisters are technically my aunts. So I would call them, you know, my sister, or, you know, growing up. So then my parents took me in. I called my mom, my grandma mom. I called my dad. I called my aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. And I came from their generation of what they call the old school bring up. You know what I mean? I got my ass whooped. You know, I got the belt, or I got slapped for talking back. You know, I came from the generation where you were seen and not heard.
Right.
So that was more my bringing up. We grew up on a street called South Park in the east side of Saginaw.
Yeah.
So right now, if you look in that neighborhood, all those houses are tore down. We were kitty corner from Emerson Elementary, and then we came down the street from, we were on the same side as Central Middle School. And then on the opposite side, there used to be Self-Serve Lumber, which is no longer there.
Yeah.
And then we were on the other side of Genesee, which is where the old school Rib Shack used to be. One of my favorite places to be, by the way. But I'm upset they're gone. But
me too.
But I grew up in that area, and then as we grew up, it was around the 90s, so the gangs were really big back then.
Okay.
They were like the Folks and the Mafia Kings, and they were obviously rival gangs in different colors, and the violence was it was a lot back then. So my dad, who was a General Motors retiree, said that we had to move. So we moved to Carleton. and then I had most of my upbringing there in Carlton. So
okay.
I went to Carlton Elementary, then Carlton Middle, and then after middle school, I went to Arthur Hill. So that's where I met some of the people there, and I was able to kind of like branch out and be myself and learn myself, growing up as well. So, but yeah, that's where it started for me as far as my upbringing. My upbringing was good. It wasn't bad. I mean, I had parents that cared for me. My sisters, who are technically my aunts, they were kind of like my mothers as well. I had one sister who was mean, so she was always whipping my ass. I had another sister that was like a mother, and she took care of me the most. And then my biological mom, she kind of moved on. She grew up and had her family, and I didn't excuse her from being my mom, but you can tell there was a division there. And with that division, as we get older, we hope to patch those bad things and try to